Hi!
Welcome back to our channel. And Shamar, do you remember those evenings we had before having kids?
How could I forget?
Spontaneity ruled, love was in the air. We could go to a restaurant, do some sport or some dance classes.
Or have a glass of wine at home or a romantic dinner.
And some friends over, also for dinner, right?
And during that time, we could have never imagined that going on a date would take so much planning once we have kids.
And this is why we advocate at least taking one date a week, which sounds very little, but it's already pretty difficult for most of us.
So before we dive deeper into understanding why couples after they have children stop going on a date, we want to encourage you to stay with us until the end of the video.
And believe it or not, we have a practical way to help you to keep those date feeling every day of your week.
Wow. Yes, even with 3 children, we managed to have kind of every day a date. So why do couples stop going on a date once they have children?
Let's look at some common reasons that we all face at some point in our lives. Number one, I would say that's the biggest issue why we don't go on a date is time constraints. The kids are just going late to bed and we don't have time for each other. Number 2, it's financial strain. This could also be difficult in a season when you have many kids.
Or 3, lack of childcare. 4, exhaustion. Like it's so physically and mentally exhausting to look after the kids, so we can't even think about to have time for each other.
Exactly. Number 5, guilt. We heard many parents, they said we don't go on a date because we don't want to leave our kids alone.
Or number 6, the lack of communication, maybe because we haven't gone on dates or we don't have those one-on-one times, we just don't know what to talk about anymore. Number 7, maybe changing of interest.
And number 8, more responsibilities, very often with the work, for example.
And many more.
So these factors, individually or collectively, can contribute to the why couples stop going on a date. And over time, this will have a negative influence over our relationship because we're only focusing on our parenting role.
So when we are occupied in our parenting role, we become child-centered and we kind of lose this like husband-wife, this lover relationship, and it starts to fade little by little.
And years down the road, this can take a toll on the relationship, and we've seen this many times. So how can we proactively cherish our marriage relationship?
By carving out time for each other.
But after hearing those 8 challenges that we mentioned before, you may wonder how.
So this is what we found for us to keep those daily dates to be connected daily, is to put our kids to bed early. You might be asking how early, and that's for you to really figure out.
And of course, the most important is spend time with your kids after work, after dinner, but it still should be early enough so you can spend time together as husband and wife.
Because if you're anything like me, I'd like to go to bed by 9:30, 10. Anything too late wouldn't work out. So in our case, what we did, what was possible, work-wise too, was that our children went to bed from like 7 o'clock in the evening to about 8 until they were 12 years old.
And that was the trick for us. After 8, pretty much every evening with the privilege to spend time together as a couple.
And I miss those times because they were really powerful to keep that fire burning.
And obviously we couldn't leave the house, so it was not necessarily a date outside of the home, but we could be together.
Or enjoy like a meal after the kids went to bed, just the 2 of us.
Watch a movie.
Or lay on the couch.
Or have friends for dinner.
And even have parenting classes after the kids went to bed, or community groups.
And now that you speak about this, I remember also having the kids early in bed helped us also to have personal times for us. For example, I was going to rehearse music with some friends.
And I was laying on the couch and reading a book And I think that helps too for each of us to have personal time with friends or meetings without the other one having to look after the kids for another 3 hours maybe. And actually, we all know once our kids go to bed, we still have chores we need to do. So it's not every day a date night, but being able to do that in the quietness or even together is a big help. And this may seem or sound very unfamiliar to you because we've lived in different cultures and we are in Barcelona now, where everything is so much more later than in Switzerland and kids go to bed later. So you really need to find your own way, what is possible for you. So I'm sure there's many other questions that will pop up, but I think we'll cover the topic on routine on another video.
Yeah, I think the biggest question people have is like, how is it possible that your kids go to bed at 7 in the evening?
And this even applies to you if you're a single parent, to put your kids early in bed and use that time for yourself to do anything you love or connect with friends. So we hope this video was encouraging for you, as that tip was encouraging for our lives with our children. But join us weekly for practical and life-giving insight on this beautiful journey called parenthood. Until then, bye.